right, hello. It is Tammy with Patriotic Creativity, and we are here to spend a little bit of time with you on the Essential Stencil page. This is a frame that I picked up at Dollar Tree, which is now the $1.50 tree or whatever. And I'm going to do several projects with this, and I'm going to use a bunch of different transfers. This is a 5x7 frame that if you take the backing off, and the frame I got from the Dollar Tree, I've just done these bits of watercolor paper that will fit inside the frames. That one had some other stuff on it. We'll do this way to do different things on, okay? So we're going to set the frame aside, and I am just going to grab a little bit of baby blue, skyish color. As I work my way down, as it gets a little lighter, it's okay, because I'm probably going to need a little bit of grounding underneath my flowers because they're in a vase. And we're going to start with just putting, again, a little bit of this blue color in the background. I'm going to get a little lighter as it goes down to the bottom because we're going to add something else to it. But just for right now, to start with this background, we're going to give this just a background color. So we've got that little bit of a blue as well. I'm setting that off to the side. So I'm going to start by dampening my whole piece. I could do this with water and a brush. I could spray this. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of yellow. This just happens to be bright yellow. And I'm just going to make a bright yellow middle color, okay? And because I dampened that first, it's going to be pretty easy if I pick up another color. Right now, I'm just going to pick up a color. How about this is spiced pumpkin. And again, I'm just picking up a tiny bit of that color on my brush, and I'm just going to blend this because I can still blend into that yellow as my paper is wet. I'm going to rinse my brush and just make sure that center is a nice, soft transition between the yellow and the oranges. I've not even wet this. I'm just going to kind of come down a little bit here and here and here and here. And we will probably need to add a little bit of a bottom color to her, but we've got a basic color for it to dry before we add in our transfer, okay? So let's set that one aside as well. So here's one of the light blue ones. And this is the one I'm just going to add this little lamb to. There's something on here that shouldn't be, just ignore that. So let's just grab a little bit of a green. I just picked up Hauser Green Medium, which is one of my very favorite greens. And I'm just going to think about making sure that this little lamb is in some grass. Let's just look. We would put the glass in that frame, we'd set the frame right there, and she would be adorable. Just adorable. So that could be one of our 4 seasons that we have 3 of right now. Here we go. We're going to set this down right here. I'm going to lay this down first. I'm just going to use it with my fingers, and then I'm going to use the tool. And now I'm just going to grab a nice grayish, and I'm just going to kind of come down here and just make sure that my under here, there's some little bits of grassy things that make sense for it all to pull together, okay? So if I take this brush and I've wet it, and here's my darker green, see how I push, tap, 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 tap. So I give myself this little line, and I might need to pick up a little more of that white, and I'm going to start going tap, tap, tap. I'm going to turn my brush around so my white is out, and I'm just going to start tapping a little bit of a tree. Tin soldier, and we're going to overlay him a bit. How about right about there, okay? I think it just needed a little extra help because there, voila, voila, there it is. We're not quite done with this little piece because we want to come back with a little bit of paintbrush, and we're just going to make I'm coming back with white. We might have to come back over this, but I'm just going to put some white underneath here as the idea that we have snow underneath our guy, okay? And that's going to be that picture that's going to go in my frame, okay? This was another one of the blue ones we did. We are merely going to add our Patriotic flowers. I'm taking this off. We're going to lay this down with the idea that that mason jar is going to be on a surface. I'm going to lay it down. So for this one, this has come off pretty much all on its own. Yeah, okay. We've got these beautiful florals inside the mason jar. I'm just going to pick up a little bit out of the cap of this. I'm going to take most of it off to the side on my paper plate. And I'm just going to come over here and think about that this is sitting on more like a table. So just dry brushing a little bit of color underneath it. Okay. Now let me give you a quick view of what this is going to look like. 4th of July flowers. This is a faux slatted sign, and I'm probably going to grab a sponge here. And I want this to be that dark blue to get a little lighter, okay? So one of my very favorite dark blues is Prussian blue. And I think I'm going to do Prussian blue and just let it get a little lighter as I go. So with that, I'm probably going to need a little white. Grab me a little white. I'm probably not going to go different shades of blue, just the main blue, and it's just going to get a little lighter so that we kind of have that snow idea. Okay. So this is just smearing the paint. I could do this with a brush too. Just using a sponge tends to be pretty quick. And I'm going to go ahead and get it down most of the way. I want this to be a darker blue and get lighter. Black blue, use something like Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray is another good option. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little more of this on here. I'm going to put the whites already out of my palette. I know I want it to be pretty dark. I'm going to pick up a little bit of white so it gets a little lighter. And again, I'll go all the way to my edges. Might need just a touch more white at the very bottom. So I want this to be a nice bit of a blend from lighter blue to a darker blue, but I certainly want those edges to blend in. Oh, change my mind. I'm going to put a little glitter paint out. Come on. And I've still got that blue on my brush. I'm picking up a little bit of that glitter paint, and I'm just going to here and there hit this glitter paint on the top part of my painting. I think that's pretty good. I'm probably going to be adding a little more in there. All right, so I'm using the stencil All Is Calm. And the stencil All Is Calm is All Is Calm, All Is Bright. It also has Oh Come All Ye Faithful, and it has these trees. I do need to hit this with just a quick burst of heat to dry this. I've grabbed the tree part of this project, and I'm going to set it down about there. So remember, this is a faux palette background. I'm going to line these trees up so they kind of look like they're in the middle. I'm not wanting these to be super dark. I want this to be kind of a very soft tree in our background, so I'm not worried that they're super white. I'm trying to hang on to them. These stencils are gorgeous. And I'm going to go ahead and add the smaller tree on this side. A little more offload. Okay. So you've got now 5 trees on here. So right now I've just laid down All Is Calm, and I'm going to pick up the silver paint. I'm offloading the silver paint. This is the silver metallic paint, and I'm going to do All Is Calm. So put All Is Calm. Just move All Is Bright just down a little bit. Again, picking up my silver paint. I'm checking it off to the side. I might pick up, this is a color called Payne's Gray. I think that might show up okay. Round, and it says All Is Calm, All Is Bright with the trees. So pick this up. We're going to go ahead and give it a quick try here. Let me just make sure I've got all this on here before I lift it off completely. All Is Calm, All Is Bright. I think we're going to be good. Where's my battery? So that's low. We did something for Halloween, patriotic floral, and a lovely soldier for Christmas. Please follow us over on Cheers to Creativity, and we look forward to seeing you next week here on Essential Stencil. Have a great evening. Cheers.